Welcome to Midweek. I have a friend this week, Jonathan, our NFL expert. He is called by ESPN, CNN, BNN, and CBT, and all of the special programs. And so we thought we would bring him in. And today's huge question, who got the better deal, Denver or Seattle?
I would say Denver for next year, Seattle for the next 10 years.
That's why this guy is an NFL expert. For those of you who have no idea what we just talked about, I don't either. Here's the deal. Russell Wilson, quarterback, 32-year-old superstar, just got traded to Denver. Denver has gone through more quarterbacks than, can we say, I've eaten burritos. They've gone through a lot. And they're terrible. And so they got Russell Wilson, which was they say an NFL huge deal. So for those of you who like NFL football, you got it.
There you go.
I think that's a really good response.
Yeah, it'll pay off, I'm sure, next year.
Okay.
Tough division, though.
Oh, man, what insight.
Here we go.
Well, dear my friend, you're not here for the NFL.
No.
However, your insight was powerful. You just recently had a retreat.
Yes, we did.
And for those of you who don't know, I can't imagine that you don't, Jonathan, our junior high pastor, we call it Fusion.
Yep.
And what was kind of the goal of your retreat? What was your hope that was going to happen, and kind of your goal, and then maybe some of the events that you did?
Yeah, so we had a prayer and service retreat last weekend of February. One of the things the leaders and I wanted to see was just students kind of just slow down. Year of COVID, everything stopped. Second year of COVID, everything got back, and people were going 100 miles an hour, it seemed like. Yeah. And so we wanted to just slow down, get back to some of the roots of what did Jesus do. He served a lot of people and he prayed a lot. And so that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to serve and pray. And so it was a beautiful thing. The two highlights that I saw were both Friday night when we were serving each other. They washed each other's feet, which was an interesting thing. A lot of students were
probably the first time for a lot of them.
Lots of leaders. It was the first time they ever washed anyone's feet. So it was a cool thing to sacrificially serve. But then the more interesting one was when their feet were washed, it made people uncomfortable. They were like, I'm not sure what to do. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here. So that was really cool. And then we spent just over an hour in individual, partner, small group, and then a corporate prayer time, ending in worship. We sang the doxology, and it was just this cool moment where lots of tears were being shed of just like this beautiful time of just slowing down and saying thank you to God and just spending some time in His presence. So that was Friday night. That was a huge blessing. And then Saturday, we went up to your place, did some dirty horse poop work, along with some other things.
Some of the jobs were filthy.
It was amazing just to see students jump in, pressure wash. No one, like, these kids don't know what a pressure washer is, and just to see some of our leaders just come alongside, just kind of guide them, hold their hands as they walked alongside, and showed them how to pressure wash a horse stall and split wood and just spread bark dust and do all sorts of service work. And we did a prayer walk, but the moment came Saturday night, right at the end. We did some fun things with the students. But we didn't tell them that we were going to do anything fun. They showed up just to serve and to pray. And I had a few seventh grade girls come up to me and just saying thank you. They didn't realize how much they needed just to slow down and serve and pray, and that this was their favorite retreat ever. We've done some fun retreats, and I didn't think that a service, prayer, not a lot of fun retreat would be at the top of a list, but these two seventh grade girls just came up to me and just said thank you for allowing us to serve and pray for 26 hours. And so that was a huge blessing to me and our leaders.
That's incredible. Yeah. Every month there's a group of ladies that pray for our student ministries, so Fusion, Thrive, and YAM, Young Adults. And I get to help put that together. So almost every month I will read through those prayer requests. This last month, they pray on Mondays, and if you're interested in joining that group, you can. It's called Muggins. The ladies kind of reflected back. My wife helps lead that team, and they were just reflecting back kind of the heaviness in their own heart at what they were reading, the prayer request. It's it's trauma. It's a lot of anguish. It's a lot of medical, emotional, family dynamics, splits, all kinds of things. And they were kind of, the ladies came away from it not only burdened for our students, but also for our leaders who are every week carrying these enormous. How is it impacting your leadership team, and how can we be praying for you guys as you not only, and we'll let you represent those who are ministering to the high school and also to the young adult. It sounds like a cliche statement, but the students you're dealing with today are just not the students of 30 years ago.
No, and I think that's one of the things that, as the leaders and I talk, we realize like some of the things that these students are going through, we, like even some of our younger leaders who were just in high school a few years ago, they're like, these are not the same issues we've been facing. And so whether it's in their personal lives where families are getting split up, or just relationship with siblings are rough, or they have a best friend whose parents are getting divorced after being married for years, or people leaving the church, people leaving the state, there's just a lot of brokenness and division with so many people. And sometimes they feel trapped, like they can't say anything, specifically at school, or even sometimes in their own family. They can't speak or share what's on their mind, because it just gets met with hostility, not oftentimes with like physical hostility, just with the emotional hostility. Anxiety, depression are through the roof right now. And so that level of just talking to our leaders and saying how vital it is that they are just there every single week, that they're consistent. That's one of the biggest things that we realize right now is the consistency, because over these last 2 years specifically, the inconsistency, there's the unstableness just hasn't been there. So being consistent, having some stability within the group has just been a huge thing for our leaders, just to always be there, always listening, always just ready to lean into those moments when they see a student crying, pulling them out, and just having that one-on-one conversation out in the hall on a Wednesday night, just to see what's going on. Has been really cool to see some of our younger leaders step up and some of our more veteran leaders just really press into this time instead of saying, it's too hard, I'm done. So
an article I was reading by a writer, Stetzer, and he was talking about 7 new pandemics, and I can't remember all 7 of them, but I remember this. One of the pandemics was of depression, a pandemic of anger. And I envision at times our leadership people, when they come alongside a person, they're kind of like a sponge. And what they do is when they bring that relationship close to them, they take in within themselves some of the depression or some of the anger, and they're dealing with that when they get close. And so I just want to encourage our whole church to love our team by praying for them and understanding. Jonathan, you are leading just a phenomenal ministry, and the impact will be told in eternity. We could not be more blessed as a church with your leadership and Caleb's and Tyler's and the rest of the whole teams. And I know your wives Jill's very involved in it. And it's incredible, friends. From where I sit and watch what they do, and just again, dealing with some of the things that they're facing, our kids, it's just remarkable. And my friend, you are doing a fantastic job.
thank you.
Let me close with just a couple of thoughts. Number one, I was just on a phone call, kind of a debriefing some of our missionaries around the world. And all of our missionaries in the Ukraine area and in Russia are all out. That doesn't mean they're well. The briefing I just received is actually a lot of them are dealing with huge traumatic issues, things they witnessed. Now, some of our Ukraine teams in Poland and different areas, and as you have heard the news, and I don't want to add to all of the news that probably some of you are tired of the news, but I just want to encourage you to pray for them. Pray for our missionaries. Pray for the churches that still remain in Ukraine. Pray for the churches that remain that are in Russia and that are in Crimea and that are in Poland. The Polish church and the whole nation is just dealing with this huge, I think 700,000, may have changed already today, refugees that have come into the country. And so we hear the news and we may get angry or whatever the case may be. What we can do is continue just to cry out to God on behalf of our friends. And we're in contact with some of the missionaries that we as a church directly support that have had to relocate to other countries. And I can tell you we're following up. Our GMT team is following up on making sure that they have all the resources that they need, because they have expenses that they weren't looking into, in a month ago. So it was a kind of a sobering briefing today. And that included surrounding countries all the way, believe it or not, into Spain. There's a lot happening, and it's very fragile, as you know, in the news. But just wanted you to be aware that we are in contact with a lot of our team, and I certainly with World Venture. So there's a lot happening, and it's very painful. But I just have to remind myself, God has been through these tragedies before, and God does some miraculous and beautiful work. And there are thousands of people that are coming to Christ. You hate to see that in juxtaposition of all the pain, but God is doing some beautiful work. And so continue to pray for those teams. This weekend, for those of you who like sleep, this is your least favorite weekend. Why? Because we spring forward. And so I want to make a challenge. Here's your challenge. Saturday night, unaffected. You come Saturday night, folks. We're going to see you. Sunday, 9 o'clock. Let's make it the biggest we've ever had. Why? Because you pop out of bed and say, you know what? Everyone else is going to sleep in, but not me. So I challenge you. Let's see you Sunday morning. I know you're going to lose an hour of sleep, but as they say, sleep is for wimps. I'll see you Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. And we have another thing coming up, a baptism. And we have a number of folks being scheduled for that. It's going to be in the services the last weekend of March. So get online, sign up if you want to be baptized. We will love to celebrate with you. I hope you have a great week. Continue to pray for our team. Thank you, Jonathan. You guys are awesome. Yep. And continue to pray for Ukraine, for Russia, for Poland, for Crimea, all of those countries. It is our privilege to lift our brothers and sisters up in prayer. God bless you. I love you. Have a great day.